So I'm here at InnoTrans. I'm on the Alstom stand. I am standing here with Stephane. He is the Vice President of Innovation and Smart Mobility. That's a really big title for a really big concept globally, never mind, when you start getting down to each country's specific needs. What does smart mobility, in your view, mean?
So it's a very good question. So thank you for this very nice question. Smart mobility, there are so many different definitions of it. You Google the smart mobility, and you see different ways to approach smart mobility. And the way we approach it in Alstom is we want to make mobility smarter by making mobility more sustainable. And we believe that rail is going to remain the backbone of mobility, and therefore smart mobility for us is a way to make rail more attractive. And to make rail more attractive, we need to make rail even more efficient than what it is today, and to bring the other mobility closer to the rail. So we are talking about the last mile, we are talking about the first mile, we are talking about how to orchestrate the multimodality. We are going to talk about all of this, and then making the rail itself even smarter by being more connected to the passenger with additional services, so that at the end of the day, the journey of the passenger is going to be seamless.
And the experience
The experience is going to be a big part of it. And the smart mobility is not only around passengers, it's also about goods, because we need to bring goods to the cities or to the place where goods is going to be consumed. And therefore, there is a bunch of smart mobility to address the mobility of goods and passengers at the end of the day. So it's all about, again, in the Alstom world, it's all about making sure that we make rail more attractive, make rail the backbone of the mobility of the future, and make sure that everything is connected to the rail smoothly and seamlessly.
So, again, all big theoretical concepts, but it comes down to technology at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So, practically speaking, so not just the technology, but the smart mobility approach also comes down to town planning, how that city is put together, how rail becomes the backbone, and interfaces from a goods and passenger perspective.
So, true. So there are places in the world where you have an existing infrastructure and you need to take the best of what you have. And there are other places in the world where it's all about starting to build this infrastructure. And again, different timing, different perspective, different usage of technology. But at the end of the day, if I have to pick a couple of top technologies, I'm going to say that to make it smarter, we need to make it more digital, we need to make it more connected, we need to make it more secure. I'm not talking only about safety, but about cyber security. And we need to make it inclusive in terms of how to hang all of these together, so that ultimately, again, the seamless travel is being managed. And seamless means, again, a big chunk of digital, a big chunk of connectivity, a big chunk of cyber security.
So taking that all into consideration, if we take a country, let's say like South Africa, for example, and we are talking about smart mobility, remove the smart city functionality from smart mobility, what is the type of infrastructure that we need to have available?
So, again, depending on where you start from, you're going to have a different journey. So the way in South Africa we put it is that there is sometimes an existing infrastructure that we need to make it smart or smarter. And most of the time you have a combination of new and existing, which is different from other parts in the world. And this combination of new and existing is where integration and a smooth deployment of technology is going to take place. I'm referring to making sure that the existing technology is already being used. Like we saw earlier the ATOs of this world. We saw earlier some of the autonomous mobility stuff of this world, the smart supervision of this world. All of this need to take place and is already available. And then we need to jump into what needs to be built from an infrastructure standpoint when we are expanding the network, the rail network, or expanding beyond the rail network. And that's where multimodality or orchestration is going to take place, so that ultimately those so-called soft mobilities are bringing the passenger, or the good, but the passenger to the rail. And that's where the city planning or territory planning comes into place, because it's all going to be a combination of several modes of transportation, so that ultimately, the journey is seamless. It's going to be if you are like me today, when I want to go from A to B, what do I think about? Might think about the cost or the price I'm going to pay. Might think about the time I'm going to spend. But I'm going to look at how many connections, because we know that connection remains an issue. We need to just address this issue so that people feel that the connection is part of the journey, and that they are going to remain connected and being taken care of through all the journey, through the various connections. And that's where we will have achieved the smart mobility. That's where people are not going to think about the connection. They are going to start their journey, remain connected to do their own business, and don't think about the journey itself, because again, smart mobility is going to be taking care of that for them.
I agree with that. And then from a technology and an innovation perspective, I mean, what is the R&D aspect going, and what does the picture look like in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, we are going to see the deployment of the existing stuff that we already have. When I say stuff, it's the digital application, the digital services that are already available. And then in the next 5 years, we are going to go to the next step with even more integration of those digital services, more a sophistication in how we make use of the data, which is generating back all these systems. Those systems, they are, literally spitting data all over the place for their own purpose. And smart mobility, for some aspect, is to make use of those data to provide different services. And that's what's going to take place in the next 5 years. So we are going to talk about those analytics for a smart supervision, which are going to be enabled by, I'm going to use a little bit of buzzword, by those artificial intelligence techniques, by machine learning, by all of this stuff, which is going to again, bring even more power to the service that we are going to deliver. If we talk about smart mobility, we are going to, at some point, touch about the autonomous mobility, be it on rail, because we are a rail operator, but at the border of rail to road. And here, some other emerging technologies like computer vision and these kind of things are going to make a big change for us to deliver this smart mobility. So, all this stuff, and you know what? It's linked. It's not only that, but it's linked to the digital world. I do think that smart mobility is not only digital, but is going to be enabled and magnified by use of digital technologies.
So talking about digital technologies, are you and I still going to have a job in 5 years with all this artificial intelligence and machine learning? And what are the skills going to be coming forward?
Oh, yes. Because at the end of the day, the artificial part relies on people having the domain knowledge. You know, the artificial intelligence is not like the system is going to guess what to do. You know, someone will have to have the domain knowledge on how a system is being operated, is being designed, so that we're able to say ultimately that artificial intelligence is going to take care of it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's the experts of the mobility who are going to say, hey, dear artificial intelligence, that's what we expect from you.
True. Thank you very much for your time. And
You're
it was
welcome.
lovely to see you in Berlin.